Most of us still have our deeds, and today we have to fight issues in court under situations that we call heirs property, because we got the paper, we'll be sure who we been. And so we are still the heirs to this land, and this is our legacy. This is our family. Their blood, their bones, their sweat, the placenta even from the babies that were birthed here is in this soil. And so for someone to just want to buy it or tell us, well, you could live somewhere else. Well, you're right, we could live somewhere else, but what quality of life would we have?
You take away the land, you take away the culture, you take away the history, and it's not going to work. So hence goes everything. So we need the land in order to hold on to who we are. The pride, the culture, the history, and everything goes together.
Land value is going up, and people are using it now as a commodity because cash is needed. And we have less time now with our family because everybody is out trying to get enough cash to get the things we want instead of what we need.
We must have control of what occur in the community.
Several efforts to preserve the Gullah Geechee culture are being made both individually.
This is a tradition that came from Africa, because they used to make these baskets, much bigger basket for working in the fields and taking stuff to the market. When my son was in high school and my daughter both was in high school, and they like to go buy those $70, $80 pair of shoes, make a basket to buy your shoes. and also I want them to learn how to do this also.
And collectively, organizations like SICARS on Sapelo Island and the South Carolina Coastal Community Development Corporation on St. Helena Island are just two such organizations.
Well, I think part of what we do is we look at the culture of food in the community. We look at how we can come together as a community and help more people create businesses around food and come up with a central label that will represent the Gullah Geechee Nation and use that as a marketing niche.
We practice working with the baskets. We still cast nets. We still build boats and the things that the early slaves brought to this country, the same traditions and things we did to survive then. We still practice those things as part of a way of life here on the island.
Take everything old and make it new again. My thing is you have to go back in order to go forward. So we have to take all the resources from our generations back and then bring it forward and make it an economic base. So what we need to do is take everything that we learned, syrup making, dried fish, making cast net by hand, making rowboats, making toys for our children, the way we cook. Those are the things that we introduce to the outside world and make a living from it. And so we're still holding on to your integrity, your pride, your history, your culture, and you're making some money, and you can stay.
There's still some semblance of that value here in these islands because people still have that kinship and they have the respect of the elders. And as long as the elders can continuously gain that respect and maintain that respect, we'll probably have a semblance of survival still.
The fate of the Gullah Geechee Nation is still unknown. But what is known is that the history and contributions of this culture provide a living link to the past.
When all that spirit been together and walk so, it have been just dry long so. See, they been together so this year day would have come and we would have owned all of this year, or we would have lived together once again. It ain't been gonna be no more Madaba Daddy or nothing but man, nothing like that. Cause this year.
So I'm gonna ask God to let me live 100 years. A friend said, you are 100? She said, yes. So she went to bed that night, she got ready to bed, she got on her bed, she said a prayer, she asked God to live. We have people that live other places and they can't wait to come back home. As soon as they come back home, for instance, they take off their shoes, they wanna go clamming, they wanna go fishing, they want some peas and rice, they want some smoked mullet. So even though they're in the city, as soon as they come back, it reverts. And we don't want to lose that. And they know that they come back, there's land for them to put their feet on that belongs to them.
I think there are lessons here. There are lessons where people valued family and kinship, as well as caring about one another. And that was necessary because of the fact that we were isolated and we had to rely on what we knew, traditions from West Africa, customs from West Africa, even foodways. And we passed that along, and we shared that with whomever needed it. And so we met the needs together. That's one lesson. Secondly, the lesson of economic development. Maintain land ownership, produce their own foods, produced all of the things that they needed for life. How we use it together in terms of cooperatively together. Nobody owned the land, people shared land. And the new economy has caused us to change that, but most of the time, land was used as people needed it. I think the other lesson is education, how we learn, and who we learn from. Everybody who can teach taught, and everybody tried to learn what they needed to learn in order to make progress.
To lose this culture would be to lose a piece of American history, and as many believe, to dishonor a people for a second time.
So even now, when people come into the Gullah Geechee Nation and they try to figure out how come we seem like we're so joyful, how come we seem like we're so happy all the time, and they're like, oh, y'all still sing all them old songs. Well, those old songs are new songs in our soul and in our spirit, because they always do the same thing they did for our ancestors who created the spirituals that are now South Carolina state music. They help to revive you. They help to keep you in that continuum, because nothing is about just this moment. Everything is about what happened before and what is coming in the future. Even now, the Gullah Geechee Nation tree is bodies intertwined, because we know we can never survive without that interconnection. We are that fruit that grows off that tree. So if we know the roots are ailing and we want more fruit in the future, then we have to dig into the past. We have to know our story. And who better to tell our own story than our own people? And so that we know through all the work that we're doing, who we da down ya, and we know we da dare ya, we da been ya, and we ain't going nowhere.
This road has not been easy, forged from shame. We fight to hold on from whence we came, stretching a lifetime, first free, then a slave. And let's not forget, the longest road yet is the one to our ancestors' grave. We've been through the valleys, but now we're on high ground, reaching for eternity. And we will not come down. We faced a lot of troubles, and the fire's still alive. Oh, against all odds, we'll make it with the will to on going in the ways that we know, standing strong and holding on. Can't let my people go. No, we won't ever stop trying to keep our roots alive. Oh, and plant anew the pride that grew from a